We now go over to Eliza Perkins, who has some people who volunteered for interviews about the abusive parents. Eliza.
Thank you, Steve. The first two interviewers who will go first are a dark blue cat boy named Mark Oluso and a purple bunny girl named Rubi Conejo. So Mark Oluso and Rubi Conejo, what would you like to say about the parents giving their children a punishment day?
Well, we've heard about all of this on the HDF News Network, where those kids got in trouble and either got grounded for an insane amount of time or got a punishment day. We find this to be very cruel. The way their parents treat their kids is absolutely unforgivable. I remember when Gumball and Darwin got suspended for pooping on their teacher, Miss Simeon. And when they got home, their psychopath mother, Nicole, grounded them and then she flushed them down the toilet and laughed at them after they were flushed away. That was not funny at all. I have never been so angry at someone for doing that. Nicole is going to regret what she did to her two sons. She is a serious psychotic bitch.
I agree. These people are psychotic. I remember when it was Christmas a few weeks ago and Gumball ended up getting coal for Christmas and he destroyed the Christmas tree in anger, but I understood why he did it. It's because of the way his parents have treated Gumball over the years. Because of that, they grounded him for an impossible time duration. And you want to know the absolute worst part of all of this?
They forced Gumball to eat the coal and then they sent him flying to the North Pole. When he got there, I thought Santa was going to help Gumball, but we just didn't care at all. Santa then sent Gumball flying back to his room. Is he out of his mind or what? What he did was child abuse and animal cruelty. That made me so angry. I felt so bad for Gumball. He had the worst Christmas ever. Nicole, Richard and Santa should be ashamed of themselves for what they did to Gumball. Screw them for that. Same to the other child abusers.
So Mark and Ruby, if you ever have kids when you grow up, would you ever allow any of this to happen to your children?
No. We wouldn't even dare think about doing that. We would be bad parents if we did that. If we had kids and they got in trouble, we would only ground them for at least a month, but never give them a punishment day.
Yeah. We hope those bad parents are found and arrested and the abused children are rescued. And we hope to see them in person when they are caught. That's all we have to say.
Thank you for your time, Mark Oluso and Rubi Conejo. Our next two interviewers are the aunt and uncle of Mark Oluso, D1 Oluso and Gale Oluso. So D1 and Gale, what do you have to say about the parents giving their children a punishment day?
To answer your question, we find this very atrocious and appalling. Don't the parents realize that they would be charged for child abuse, assault, and endangerment? Has the world come to an end?
I am very heartbroken at what those poor children went through. Why would the parents do such cruel things like that to their children? It makes me want to cry.
It's okay, my love, don't cry. The children will be saved, and their parents along with the other assailants will face justice for their crimes. I promise you. Don't lose hope, Gail. Anyways, those parents should be thrown in jail for the rest of their mortal lives, or be given the death penalty for execution. Since I am a demon, I will torture their mortal souls after death. I remember watching on Fox Animation's channel where Nicole gave Gumball a punishment day for throwing up on her. She took off his clothes until he was down to his underwear. Is she sick or something? I'm beginning to suspect that Nicole may be a pedophile. She also destroyed his bathroom. And not only has she done all of that, Nicole had Gumball's girlfriend, Penny Fitzgerald, beat him while he was in his underwear during his first punishment day and then fled the scene of the crime. And in Gumball's second punishment day, she threw him as well as his brother, Darwin, across the room after their psychopath father Richard shrank them down to plush toy size. Why would Penny betray Gumball like that? Is she that unfaithful to him? Nicole even pooped on her two sons. I'm very furious at what Nicole, Richard, and Penny did to them. They are complete psychotic, child-abusing blights of humanity. They will rue the day they started abusing Gumball and Darwin. I got a special place in hell waiting for them.
I agree with my husband. Those people are the ones who should be punished for their actions, not the abused children. If you think Gumball and Darwin are the only ones being abused, there's another little boy named Nick. I don't remember the last name, but that's beside the point. His insane father named Luis beat the poor boy with a hammer one time, and the poor boy got a punishment day by his insane family. They did stuff to him like change his voice, make his bones weak, and had their hateful daughter Lulu attack Nick. I can't ever unsee that. I hope the police save the poor children and send those abusive monsters to jail. And actual police officers, unlike the dirty cops that help the abusers.
D1 and Gale, would you ever give your nephew Mark a punishment day?
Absolutely not. We would never do that to Mark at all. If he ever got in trouble, we would only ground him for a certain amount of time. But not like those child-abusing parents.
Yep, we love our nephew very much. We wouldn't dare do any of that stuff. He's a sweet boy raised very well by us and his mother. He does well in school too.
We hope to see those child-abusing parents in person when they are captured. I will be preparing their fates in hell, and I will be waiting for them when they die. Good day, madame.
Thank you for your time, D1 and Gale Oluso. Our next interviewer is the cousin of Mark Oluso, Marcia Oluso. Now Marcia, do you have anything to say about the parents giving their children a punishment day?
Yes, I do. These parents are such heartless monsters. This is very disgraceful. Do these parents even care about what they are doing to their kids? From the looks of it, I guess not. I remember seeing a video on Fox Animacion's channel where a boy and a girl named Dipper and Mabel Pines were being tortured by their dad for a punishment day. One of the worst punishments their psychopath father did was pooping on them. Is he sick in the head or something? Why would he poop on his two kids? That is beyond disgusting. And blinding them with a bright light in their faces, and then throwing them in an indoor tornado and then up in the air sky high? He could have seriously killed them. I am really ashamed of that evil man for doing that to his children. There is even a Jigglypuff who also got a punishment day by its heartless parents. And the Jigglypuff didn't even do anything to warrant a punishment day, and the Jigglypuff's trainers, Red and Ash Ketchum, also abused the poor Jigglypuff. And if Red and Ash's mothers are watching this, I have something to say to them. Delia Ketchum and Red's mom, if you're watching this, your sons were involved in abusing a Jigglypuff. I suggest you ground them for 3 months and even spank them with a belt.
Now Marcia, if you have any kids in the near future, would you ever give your children a punishment day?
No. I would be in serious trouble if I did that. I babysit Mark and his nephew from time to time. I am good with children. And I don't want to ever set a bad example for them. I hope the children are saved and the abusive parents go to hell so that D1 can torture them for their crimes. That's all I will say for this interview. Adios.
Thank you for your time, Marcia. Our last 2 interviewers are the parents of a little boy named Snicker, Flippy and Giggles. Now Flippy and Giggles, what do you have to say about the parents giving their children a punishment day?
We are beyond outraged at what those parents are doing to their kids. They ground their kids for dumb reasons and give them punishment days. Has the apocalypse come or something? I remember when our son Snicker saw that one of his favorite video game characters named Parappa the Rapper got a punishment day by his psychopath parents and sister.
Yeah, Snicker was so traumatized seeing one of his video game heroes get tortured by his abusive family that he had locked himself in his room crying. We comforted Snicker and assured him that Parappa will be saved and his psychopath family will face justice for what they have done to him.
And speaking of which, we had to see the video for ourselves to see what Snicker was talking about when he said that Parappa was being tortured. What we saw was beyond sickening. They did stuff to him like destroyed his room, poop on him, change his voice. And the absolute worst part of all of this is,
they dropped Parappa from the window, all while they were laughing at him. Do they really hate Parappa so much or what? I've never been so angry in my entire life. I want to give them a slow and painful death to see how they liked being tortured and abused like what they did to their son. If we see them in person, I will let them like fishes.
Calm down, Flippy. We don't want to set a bad example for our son.
Sorry you had to see that, Miss Perkins. I have PTSD and I am getting lots of therapy with my wife who is a nurse and my doctor, Sniffles.
No worries, Flippy. We don't blame you for having a strong reaction. But anyways, would you and Giggles ever give your son Snicker a punishment day?
Not in a million years. We love Snicker very much. If he got in trouble, we'd only ground him for at least 2 weeks. But he's a good kid and we are very proud of him.
That is a fact. And even when my husband flips out from his PTSD, he would never hurt or try to kill our baby boy. I usually splash water on Flippy and he calms down.
The only thing we have left to say is that we hope that those so-called parents get what's coming to them, and that the abused children are saved from them and have a better life. We are done now. Godspeed.
Thank you for your time, Flippy and Giggles. I believe that is all of the interviewers I have on my part. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you, Eliza. When we come back, we'll go to the protests going on in several areas and then show the child abuse victims and wanted criminals. GNN News will be right back after a word from our sponsors. So stay tuned.